All right, we are live here with the Google Plus Hangout. What's up, guys? Chase Oliver here, bringing you another Google Plus Live Hangout to my channel. Anyways, guys, we're going to be talking about the WWE Network general wrestling discussion. As always, with me for the live Google Hangouts, my boy Antoine Moore from the More to Life Radio Show. Antoine, how's it going, my man?
Yo, how you guys doing, man? Thank you for having me on, my brother. It's good to be back on with you. You know how we do this, man. Let's
Yeah,
go ahead and kill
exactly.
another show, man. How you
Uh,
feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really, really great, my man. And also with us today, two of my good friends that I've known since 2011, since I've started this YouTube journey. We have Gold Standard 000 from YouTube. You can see his channel in the description box down below. Ross, how's it going?
What's up? Good to be here. I don't think I've ever been on one of these with you. So,
No,
should
no,
be
you
fun.
haven't. This is a debut, and then we also have the Chris Phoenix on here as well. Chris, how's it going?
Doing pretty good, Chase. How about you?
All right. Well, we have to talk about the WWE Network. I want to talk about the WWE Network because the network, most people's subscriptions are running out, and I want to get people's general thoughts about the network. But let's talk about one of the network's recent shows that they just aired, the WWE Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Antoine, I want to know your thoughts on Money in the Bank. Give a quick little synopsis, quick little review of what you thought about Money in the Bank as a whole.
I thought it was okay. At first, I really liked it, because I was just going off initial response, and then I went back and watched it a second and third time, and I was like, all right, this wasn't what I thought it was. But filler matches, I like the first Money in the Bank matchup. I like Paige and Naomi. I liked what's the other match I liked? There was another match I liked on there as well on the card, but for this match, I was like, the main event killed it for me, man. And I didn't like the ending to the first Money in the Bank, but I give it like a 6 out of 10, man. 6 out of 10. That's it.
All right, Ross, what did you think about Money in the Bank, WWE's recent pay-per-view, or special event as they're calling them now on the WWE
Yeah.
Network? What did you think about that one?
I thought it was really good. It's not one of the best pay-per-views of the year by any means. Like, I'd still prefer WrestleMania, of course. Maybe even Payback, or yeah, maybe Payback. Like, it's probably definitely in the top 5 by far, maybe top 3. But by the end of the year, I expect it to fall back a little bit with SummerSlam coming up and all that. But about the show, I really enjoyed the Money in the Bank briefcase contract match. That was phenomenal. Like, the story of that match just sucked me in, and I was pissed when Rollins won. So that's how you know the match did its job. The undercard wasn't that great. I did like Rusev and Big E. I thought the way they played up their last match and then carried some of that into this one was really good. So I really enjoyed that, even though it wasn't too long. Tag match was good. The main event was a little bit tamed for ladder match, but it still kept me entertained, and I really enjoyed it. But
yeah,
it was I thought it was a really good pay-per-view. But yeah.
Chris, what did you think about Money in the Bank 2014?
I actually thought it was excuse me. I thought it was actually a pretty decent show. It wasn't too bad. I know for a show that didn't really get all that build up per se for it, it seemed like it was kind of rushed the last second, particularly the Go Home show for the Monday Night Raw before it. Overall, I thought it was not a bad show. I mean, without a doubt, the standout match of the night was the Money in the Bank contract, ladder match. Overall, that was obviously a pretty good, solid match. Paige and Naomi, I thought was decent. I think they got a decent amount of run. It was like 7 minutes long. Summer Rae versus Layla. Oh my god, that was just garbage, man. That just sucked.
I thought that was match of the year in all honesty.
Yeah, totally. Fandango.
Match of the year.
Freaking Fandango trying to do his best Rick Rude impersonation in the middle of the.
Yo, man. I don't know I don't know who music is worse, Summer Rae's or Stephanie McMahon's. I don't know who music is worse.
Seriously, man. Like, get a better theme.
Style Grace, I'm in a bit about the
Yeah, that just screams out cool people. But anyways,
Nothing's worse though than Tiffany's theme from ECW and SmackDown.
Oh yeah, and then Layla took it. Yeah,
Shit.
and then Layla took it later on. That she like, I'm trying
You're
to
not enough for me.
I'm trying to find a boy. Like no, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Man.
Shit. But anyway, back to the card. I thought the opener was really good. The Usos versus Harper and Rowan. I thought that was an excellent way to start off the night. Rusev versus Big E wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be because I thought in Payback it was just like, but this one they kind of made, even though Big E obviously lost, he kind of looked somewhat strong because he lasted longer than most people did against Rusev in most of these matches. So even though he lost, he did look pretty damn strong. So at the top of my head. The main event was just lackluster. I mean, you have all these big names like Sheamus, of course, John Cena, Randy Orton, Cesaro. You think, somewhat becoming a star, I guess you could say. And you see, Bray Wyatt, Roberto Del Rio, even though he's kind of fallen off to say the least the last few years. Yeah. So, you have all these names that you think, oh man, this could be a really good man. Of course, you got the young upcoming Roman Reigns. That, okay, this could be a really good, exciting match. And then, the biggest highlight of the match is what? Cesaro going up the ladder, and then Orton turns him around and gives him a sick RKO. Like, okay, that was a nice spot. That was the only thing that was really memorable about that match. It really did the whole shit. So, but overall, not a bad pay-per-view.
I think if they did the main event with Reigns and everybody, and Cena and Orton and all that, I think that would have been great if it was like the Armageddon Hell in a Cell match from 2000. I think it would have been because they had to climb a ladder and shit. Like, that's why I think the match kind of suffered, because they had to keep climbing a ladder and all that stuff. If it was just a Hell in a Cell, it might have been a little bit better. But they don't do that anymore.
I think it definitely would have been a little bit better. But see, that's my thing with the WWE Network, and one of my main problems with it is that, like, I don't feel like we have gotten a really good pay-per-view since WrestleMania 30, since the network debuted. And I feel like most of these shows, they feel like what I'm paying for, a $10 show. And here's the thing, though, with the network, and this is my problem with the network, and this is why I want to talk about the network, is like, yes, it's cool that we have this library of professional wrestling history and all this other stuff, and we're paying $10 a month for it. But with the special events, and I think that's one of the main enticing things for the network, I don't feel like they deliver to, like, the original price point of $50 a month. I feel like they're getting lazy with these special events now that they're like, oh, we only have to pay $10 a month for it. I feel the WWE's getting lazy with a little bit of their special events. I mean, it was an okay show to me. It was definitely probably one of their better pay-per-views. But then again, how many really good pay-per-views has the WWE had this year? I mean, WrestleMania and then what? Like, Elimination Chamber, Rumble. I mean, not really that many great pay-per-views for the WWE this year. And that's my thing about the network. I mean, we're paying $10 a month for it. And all you guys are subscribers of the network. If once your subscription comes up in SummerSlam, Night of Champions, once your 6 months are done, who's renewing it? Who's renewing it? Because I'm only renewing it because I'm a YouTuber and I can afford $10 a month for it. But if I wasn't doing YouTube videos, I probably wouldn't renew my subscription because the network has disappointed me a little bit. Antoine, same here. Why wouldn't you renew it?
Same here. If it wasn't for reviews at this point, I wouldn't do it. I've been trying to keep really up in tune with what's been going on in the network, and it really has engaged my interest. It did for the first 2-3 months, watching like the top 10 countdowns and a lot of the round tables and stuff like that. But after I watched like the round tables and some of the old house shows, I really have no interest anymore in it. It's really gotten kind of bland. I don't watch Main Event. I don't watch SmackDown really. So I'm really just kind of like, all right, if I don't see any new, like, good pay-per-views, or I don't even watch the pre-shows or the backstage passes. I really just watch the pay-per-views and get to the point. I really don't watch any of that stuff because there's really no point of it. I watch the pay-per-views to really get back, to do things like we're doing right now. But if I didn't have to do that and I wasn't in tune of watching some of the wrestlers that I really support, like a Roman Reigns or Dolph Ziggler, things of that nature, I wouldn't be watching it, man. $10. But I could be spending that on something else. But looking at it right now, And if I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't pay for. I barely watch it. I haven't watched it in a month, bro, except for the pay-per-view.
Ross, what about you? What about you with the network? Would you renew your network subscription if you weren't doing YouTube videos? Like, if you weren't doing YouTube videos, you had no incentive to really watch WWE, just being a casual person, would you renew your network subscription?
Yeah, I would renew it. To me, it's easily worth $10 a month. While the content on there is lacking a little bit, like with the Raws and the SmackDowns and no Nitros yet and things like that, and like original content too. I would expect more original content, and I think they're getting a little bit better at it. But I don't watch it a ton right now, but I try and watch NXT because I like watching NXT most of the time.
Same.
The pay-per-views. The old stuff, I kind of got to be in the mood to watch the old stuff, but here and there I watch the old things. You know, if there's a match that I don't own on DVD or Blu-ray, then I'll search for it and I'll watch it. And, you know, it's very affordable for me. Like, it's not like breaking the bank or anything, so I mean, I don't see any reason why I shouldn't, like, unless they increase it to like $50 a month or like $40 or something. You know?
Yeah, that would be physically impossible. Let me get to Chris real quick. I want to know if he would renew it, and then I'm going to ask more questions about why you're keeping the network, and unlike me and Antoine. Chris, what about you? If you were just not doing YouTube videos, you have no incentive to keep the network, would you keep the network or not? Would you renew your subscription and say, you know what, I'll stick with my 6 months again?
Well, I'd possibly just it'd be a tough decision because, I mean, I understand like some people aren't huge fans of the network because of the lack of content and everything. I understand that, you know, but I think what WWE is trying to do in that scenario, they're not trying to throw all their eggs in one basket. You know, they're trying to make it wait for you. So that, oh, well, all you old school wrestling fans, we'll give you Monday Night Wars. We'll give you more old episodes of Raw, all these old episodes of Nitro. And, you know, I think they're trying to pull it that way. But honestly, it'd be a tough decision, you know, if I wasn't doing, you know, obviously YouTube wasn't doing reviews of pay-per-view, but, you know, I do occasionally, you know, if I'm, like, really that bored, like, I'll look at main events, I'll watch NXT, because NXT, you know, to me, and I've said this for God knows how long, I find NXT more entertaining than, you know, the main show, SmackDown,
Easily.
whatever.
Easily, bro.
Exactly. So, I did kind of get a kick out of, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I actually got a kick out of Legends House, as sad as that sounds.
Legends House is good, but that's what I want from the network. I want more stuff like that. Because, like, in all honesty, when I heard about the network, I was hearing, like, oh, they were going to do all these TV shows like Legends House. Total Divas was originally supposed to be on the network. It was going to be called Heels on Wheels, and it was supposed to not show what the Divas do outside of life, but them traveling and all that other crap. So that would have been kind of funny to see. But, you know, I was expecting more content like that. That's my thing with the WWE Network, because I want to know, we all have networks here. So with the pay-per-views, we know we have the vast pay-per-view library, but how many pay-per-views, like of the old school pay-per-views, whatever year, how many pay-per-views do you literally just sit back and watch in a 1 week basis? Ross, how many pay-per-views do you watch on the network on a week basis?
I haven't watched many since it launched. Like, when it launched, I watched probably 5 or so in the first week, but I haven't watched too many lately just because, I don't know, I've just been busy in baseball, and the NBA playoffs are happening, so I might start to watch more pay-per-views now, but right now I really wasn't watching too many.
Chris, what about you?
I'd say, like, on average, I probably watch maybe, like, 1 or 2. I mean, I remember, like, because I've only had, like, the network for, like, literally, like, a month. Like, I got it, like, months later compared to, like, everybody else. Mm-hmm. So that, you know, it was just like, oh, cool, you know, I'm watching those pay-per-views. Like, I'll admit, I watched, like, a bunch of pay-per-views, like, in a row, and then I was like, okay, this is getting a bit stale. I'll just watch 1 or 2, so I'm going to get burned out by, like, August. I sit there going, why the hell did I get the network? So...
Antoine, what about you? How many pay-per-views do you watch in a week basis on the WWE Network?
How many pay-per-views? Maybe one or two a week. I'll go back. I've been watching a lot of the WCW lately, man. That's what I watch. I watch a lot of the good WCW ones. That's really what I go back and watch. Some of the old Bash at the Beaches when the NWO was taking over. Bash at the Beach, Sold Out. That's a lot of what I watch. I don't watch a lot of the old WWE pay-per-views. I did at first, like a lot of the old SummerSlams I don't remember, or the old WrestleManias, some of the No Way Outs, things like that. But I say one or two a week when I really am like done with like college and stuff like that for the week. I'll watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, I probably watch one pay-per-view a week, and the thing is, it's like 3 hours, and that's really all I see the network has to offer right now is just the old pay-per-view library. That's really all I see with the network is that they have, and I want more original content. Like I feel they've done wonderful with a lot of their specials. I mean, the Warriors special is better than some of the DVD specials they have released in the past 2 years. Same with the Daniel Bryan special. I mean, that shit was made in like 1 week, and that right there was better than half the DVDs they've made for some of their superstars, man. Like, I really feel like they need to produce more of these original content onto the network. I mean, yes, the behind the ring, those are cool. Beyond the ring, I mean, are cool, but those are DVD documentaries. You've probably seen them already. Yes, Legends House is cool, but what else besides Legends House? I mean, you got Total Divas now on there, but it's season 1 that everyone has seen already. I want to know what is something that the network can have to make it interesting, because I don't see people like on the network 24/7. I think more people are on their Netflixes, on their Hulus, and on YouTube, on Xbox more than they are on the network. What could make the network more interesting besides saying, hey, we have the pay-per-views, every month, and hey, we have this? What could make the network more interesting?
I saw the dog walk in.
Yeah, Diamond walked in. She wants to say hi.
What does she have to say about the network?
What do you have to say about the network? He doesn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I know Biggie doesn't like the Divas matches.
Yeah,
so.
Big E does not like the Divas matches. That's why. He was very upset watching Emma and Paige for NXT Arrival.
Oh God.
But what would you do to add to the network to make it better? Besides the pitch of like, oh, we have all these pay-per-views and stuff. What would you do to make the network better?
Obviously more original content. Like, I came up with a random idea in my head. They probably would never do it.
Let me hear it. I want to hear if you have TV show ideas. Tell me what TV show.
They could do something like a debate kind of show. I know it might come off like fake because it's kind of hard to have a real debate.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're supposed to make it kind of kayfabe and like if between us we would be debating like, but Daniel Bryan, he gets booked this way, and then they wouldn't do that on the show, you know what I mean? But something similar to like First Take, you could get somebody like a Stephen A. kind of personality and a Skip Bayless personality, and just debate like the best bad guy in wrestling, the best on the microphone, feuds, storylines, pay-per-views, things like that, and just go back and forth. I think that would be interesting if they got the right people and made it work right. I don't know if I could really think of anything else, but
I like that idea. I think that you could do. I mean, you already have Alex Riley. You could have Alex Riley say these outlandish things, and then you could probably find some. I bet you maybe Xavier Woods. This would be a good platform for it. Xavier Woods would be like, "Stop it, Alex! What are you talking about? That's ridiculous." I think that would work out. That would actually be an interesting show. You'd have debates about it. Chris, do you have any show ideas that you would do for the network?
Well, I don't know if they're doing it or not. I keep hearing rumors, but maybe if they do another season of Legends House, maybe if they have a new cast. I mean, I know people are saying, "Oh, have Hulk Hogan, brother." Have him do it. And I'm sitting here going, "Do you not remember Hogan Knows Best, dude? Remember how well that went?" But I think what they could do is, they could obviously have more original content by just simply putting in something like, oh, maybe they can have just overall, just try to have maybe have a little chat thing they can do. Maybe they'll have let's just say Renee Young, for example. Let's just say she'll be on there. She can ask maybe have a little I don't want to say a Google Hangout or anything, but kind of how she tries to have, or someone, whoever hosts it, they could have a debate, not a debate, but just like talk to like the WWE fans, like what do they think
like
about?
an interactive show where we can send our tweets and they can answer our questions, like a
exactly.
open forum type of thing.
Yeah,
Antoine, what about you? What would you want to add on the network? What are some show ideas? What would you think besides the pay-per-views and the whole library that you have? What else would you try to pitch people to the WWE Network?
Well, to be honest with you, the first thing I would do is, WWE has a tendency to go away from a lot of their history and people that are around, that have been around to make the business what it is. I would do kind of like what I did with Ultimate Warrior, how they did that special. Only thing, probably not as long, but most guys who are going in the Hall of Fame, give them a little special like that. Have them back, give them a story. Jake the Snake Roberts, Roddy Piper, future Hall of Famers. Give them little specials like that to where you see them backstage, seeing the Hall of Fame set, talking to Vince. Give each guy their own little showcase so that we can also get an understanding of who these people are as well. WWE makes a lot of mistakes of just at the Hall of Fame see a lot of these guys, and then a lot of these current fans will have a lot of lineage behind them and knowing who these people are. Give a lot of these Hall of Famers, and when is Hall of Fame time, or even not even Hall of Fame time, but even once every couple like once a month, twice a month, have a showcase of each guy who went into Hall of Fame, or do a special on a lot of the guys from the past, and let them have the kind of way they did Warriors thing, where he was around and he was around in the backstage talking to Hogan, talking to everybody. Give each guy their own little platform like that, so they have an opportunity to get understood and people know who they are. Because the way they did Warrior was perfect. You need to do that with a lot of these other guys too, so that people can understand. That Warrior, the way they did that Warrior special was probably the most interesting thing I've seen them do in years, bro. I'm gonna be real. Like I was not that sucked in on a DVD, like a DVD special, a TV special from them in a long time. I was like, damn, I don't want to miss a minute of this, bro. They could do that with so many other superstars. Like, could you imagine if they would have done that with Jake the Snake Roberts and what his story was? Could you imagine if they did that same thing for him? Scott Hall, getting their chances to see their stories and see where they came from to get back where they are now. So that's what they need to do as well. As far as what the other guy said is perfect too.
Yeah, what I also would add is maybe wrestling fans, they always want to know the wrestlers' personal lives. I don't know why. You guys are freaks a little bit, but it's true. Most of you guys want to know. Y'all want to know what they're doing. Do MTV Cribs. Have the WWE Cribs house. I mean, why not show off their houses? Show off what they kind of did with superstar toys. I really enjoyed that because Hunico has probably one of the best superstar toys ever. He has all these masks. Show these hobbies that these superstars have. Make these superstars, a little bit more interesting inside and outside of the ring. What I would also do, and this is another thing, is just God, Antoine was talking about it with the legends. You know how he's talking about make specials for these legends. Make specials for a lot of the wrestlers. I mean, you were releasing those stupid superstar DVDs. Freaking A, make a special with these guys. Have them talk. Let me learn more about Kofi Kingston. Maybe I would actually give a shit when he comes to the ring. Let me learn more about Big E. Hell, you want to get these NXT stars over? Show a day in the life of an Adrian Neville. Show us what Adrian Neville has to do before an NXT taping. What's his job? Waking up in the morning, all that other crap. NBA does it. NFL does it. I'm pretty sure the WWE can do it.
Chase, man. Here's another idea. Chase, here's another idea what they need to do, because there's so much behind. I was talking to a former WWE wrestler about this, and he totally agreed with me. They need to do a special, whether it's not Jim Johnson or not. They need to do a special about the music. They have to do a special with it. They have to do it where you have maybe once a week you have in the vault section, original section, you have once a week you have one superstar and legendary theme is Stone Cold and Jim Johnson, or Stone Cold and whoever else if Jim doesn't want to participate. How was that theme music made? Because this stuff is so legendary. That's what people remember these guys by. So maybe you could do something for people who are into the music part of it. Have a little special once in a blue moon where how this song was created. And it don't have to be that long, but you could do something like that to where the wrestler could talk about how the songs were made. And it gives you a more deeper look into their characters and how the music honestly helps their characters as well. I mean, I don't want to see John Cena. All right, bro, we know how you made that song. We get it, bro. But everybody else.
What time is that?
Everybody else, yeah, they're oh my God! If I hear that song one more time, oh my God! That's another idea. So that's just another one I've thrown out, Chase.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and you know, and also one thing is I would improve countdown, man. Like, stop letting the fans fucking vote, man. The fans
Best
don't know what
couple
the.
ever.
Oh my god.
No, they said
The fact that Macho and Elizabeth did not make #1 on best couple is ridiculous. Stop letting the fans vote, man. Having the
Vicky
fans.
and Paige were on that countdown. What the hell were they thinking?
Vicky and exactly, like this countdown thing is just so freaking dumb. Like, I like the little footage because they actually put effort into the footage. But like for me, I just say, oh my god, dude, like you're insulting my intelligence when CM Punk is the #2 villain of all time. I'm done with. I'm literally like dumbfounded. I'm like, what? Roddy Piper is 7, but CM Punk, who really claimed to fame of being a villain in the WWE, is cashing in on Jeff Hardy. That's his claim to fame to being a villain. The pipe bomb or whatever it's called, that's not a villain move. That was a babyface move. That was a babyface move.
Like,
fix countdown, WWE. That's all I ask for, man.
That's crazy. Like how is the Brood the second greatest stable of all time?
That's when you know all the Attitude Era marks are like, fuck this shit. We're gonna screw this.
That shit is like that shit lasted 4 months.
Because Edge was on it. Oh, Edge.
Yo, they had that shit over the Horsemen. I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. I can't take none of this shit serious. After that, I stopped watching it so much. Over Evolution, bro.
Yeah, how is the Brood the #2 stable of all time? It's stuff like that where I just feel like insulted sometimes watching some of the WWE Network stuff, and you know, like classify when these people were filming these interviews, because I'm sick and tired of seeing Daniel Bryan shaven and then he has a beard and all of a sudden he's fucking hairy. Just tell us, oh, this was filmed July 2012, because I don't know when.
That and how many times John Cena changes his shirt. Oh, the black shirt, the pink shirt,
blue shirt. Yeah, dude, like they keep changing. Like these guys don't look like they've been sitting to interview. Like we know that they have had this footage, you know, backpiled because, you know, the network was originally supposed to come out in 2012, you know, with after WrestleMania 28 was supposed to be the debut of the network. They didn't get a TV deal going, and then Triple H is like, oh, we're going to make it into a platform. But one question is, does the WWE Network, do you guys think that they should have waited until the Europeans and people down south of the border in Mexico and people up north in Canada, do you think that the WWE should have waited until everybody had access to it? Because to me personally, I think the financial flop here with the network is this. You are giving it to this network to the United States, who frankly does not give a shit about the WWE. They don't really give a shit about the WWE. The WWE is not being talked about in the United States. I mean, let's put it this way. How many people would the NFL have if they had, like, let's say an NFL network, and I know that's a TV show, but let's say they came out with their app. It's $10.99 a month, and you get every game every week with the NFL network app. How many people would be up in arms on that? How many people would have that shit downloaded? And it's only $10 a month. Same deal with the WWE with everything, and you can watch archive games. How many people would be on that NFL app? Like, do you think it would be like they would have like 1 million people?
Hell yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
And that's just based off the United States. And the thing is, it's like, let's face it, America. You guys know this. We're cheap bastards. We don't want to pay for shit. The fact that we complain about, like, when we go to a gas station, we have to pay $5 for a Snickers bar. Okay, we're cheap. We don't want to pay all this damn money for anything. And the thing is, it's like, I feel that they should have waited. I think they hot-shotted the network, and the network right now is still not ready. Because to me, if this was really ready, we would have all those TV shows. Like, why is it that I have to wait for that Monday Night War show after replays of Total Divas? Are you fucking kidding me? No, put that on a Tuesday. There's nothing going on Tuesday nights. Put that on a motherfucking Tuesday. Put that on a Wednesday, Friday, something. So that way it seems more, you know, watchable on a week in and week out basis. I mean, come on, guys. Like, do you think they should have waited until a worldwide release? Ross, what about you? Do you think they should have waited until it reached worldwide? so that way it wouldn't have been such a financial flop that it is now?
Yeah, definitely. They definitely should have waited. The numbers would have been much better on that first quarter if they had released it to everybody. Like, that's just a no-brainer. Like, I don't understand. Like, are they showing favoritism toward the U.S.? Like, why? Like, what was their reasoning for just doing it? Like, for just U.S. I get it. Like, made no sense. But I mean.
Did we lose Ross? Ross is frozen. All right, Chris, do you think they should have released it worldwide before releasing to the U.S.? Do you think they should have just waited until like October to release this thing? Because let's face it, in the fall time, nothing's interesting in the WWE. There's nothing interesting going on in WWE during the fall time. Do you think it would have been a good idea to release this in October instead of, hot-shotting it before WrestleMania just because they wanted their network for WrestleMania? What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, they should have. I agree. They should have done it obviously worldwide because obviously they wouldn't. Economically they wouldn't have hit that bad, obviously, because you always see one of the better crowds, not particularly in the U.S. obviously. But you go whenever the WWE goes to, let's just say, England, you go across the pond per se. They always get these big fans and everything, and they're always into it. So, that right there just proves, hey, look, you got a bigger fan base, not just in the United States, but also places like, England, maybe Japan, Mexico, all these other places around the world. But even though it didn't make sense, the only way it could possibly somewhat make sense, the reason they did what they did was because, WrestleMania is around the corner, and we know we're going to get a ton of money. So let's just, bring the network there, even though we still don't have access to, all across the globe, which is pretty much stupid.
Antoine.
I think that the WWE are in a tough situation right now. When the WWE dropped, I talked to two of my friends who were in England, and they said they already had the network. So I'm like, damn. Okay. So that means that people domestically and internationally are already getting a network, even though they weren't supposed to. So some people already have subscriptions overseas. From those two people I talked to and from their friends, a bunch of them already have it. This is just in England. So I'm surprised. I'm not surprised if it's all over the world already, and there's just certain places that still can't get it yet. I think that this was a bad idea to 100% hotshot this because and not have an official plan for it because it's not in the long run. It's not really going to help them when the 6-month quarter comes in, and then you want to get more subscribers, but then half the numbers don't go up because half of let's say Europe already has the network and we're supposed to have it. I would have rather taken time to do this, man, and they just wanted to hotshot it. They wanted to. As a business owner myself, you try not to fall into this thing where you try to, the business is kind of down. People are looking for something new, so you want to make a big splash. You make a big splash by making this, but you didn't come up with the best idea to actually make it afloat, and now it's kind of biting you in the ass because they're at 600 and something thousand, 700, almost 700,000 subscribers, and that's not even breaking even. That's okay. That's not even good.
Yeah, they needed 1 million subscribers, they said, to break even with this one. And I bet you when the free trial was going on, that 1 week free trial, I bet you they were at 1 million. I bet you they were at 1 million because I remember the first day I was trying to sign on to get my network. I was all like, oh my God, I can't even sign on for this. And if you guys, like, with any of the subjects we're talking about with the network that's watching this live, in the comment section, you can leave your thoughts out there. Someone asked a question. We will get to general wrestling discussion after we're done talking about the network. We'll answer any questions you guys have for us in general. But when it comes down to it, it's just that I feel like you should have waited until the Europeans could have gotten it because, Europe loves wrestling. That's just the bottom line. They love professional wrestling. A lot of the people in Europe are trained to be professional wrestlers. They start at very young ages to train down there. So in all honesty, it just makes more sense to me. Like, wait until October when wrestling, let's face it, there's nothing interesting about wrestling in the fall time. I cannot remember the last year in professional wrestling where I was like, oh, they're doing something crazy during the fall time. I cannot remember the last year. When was the last year?
Hell in a Cell.
The last one I can think of, and I might be forgetting a year, but I'm thinking the Save Us Y2J stuff. That was the fall.
Yeah, that was the ball, but everyone knew it was Chris Jericho once the first
Yeah,
everyone knew it.
we did, but it was still somewhat interesting.
Yeah, it was somewhat interesting, but it didn't get the world a buzzing. It wasn't like that was something where like everyone's like, oh, did you hear that? Not even The Rock coming back for a tag team match with John freaking Cena, the world was the buzzing. But if you would have waited till October, you know, and then the network's coming out, and then everyone's buzzing about this, like, oh my God, the WWE has this network. Sports media would be talking about this, talking about how great of a thing this is. And the thing is, with SummerSlam and Night of Champions around there, that's when most people's network subscriptions are going to, you know, fall off. What do they need to do with these two events, SummerSlam and Night of Champions? What do they need to do to make these events worth sticking with the network for? Ross, what do they need to do for SummerSlam and Night of Champions?
They need to make them feel like big shows. SummerSlam, I feel like they can easily do that.
Yes.
Lesnar and Cena will probably happen, so there you go right there. That's a match that I think a lot of people want to see. Night of Champions, though, I'd probably try and do a rematch of something from SummerSlam. Maybe not Cena and Lesnar. I don't think that's a good idea to do that twice, but I could totally see WWE doing that a third time.
Oh my God.
But if they wanted to do like Triple H Reigns Part 2 at Night of Champions, that would be okay maybe. I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't know if I can really think of anything, but just something that makes people want to see Night of Champions, you know, like a really big match, maybe involving Lesnar, because I would assume Lesnar would win the title. So do Lesnar against, I don't know, Orton? Lesnar Batista? There you go. Lesnar Batista. Batista come back September, and there you go. There's your match.
Chris, what do they need to do for SummerSlam and Night of Champions to make the network interesting and viable for people to say, we need to keep our subscriptions?
Well, they need to make it, first of all, even though, you know, obviously wrestling's been going along for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades, you know, they need to try to do something somewhat, I think, unpredictable, something big, whether it's a storyline, whether it's building up, you know, a young star that's like, okay, I never thought he would get built up like this, or just simply, you know, try to make a big name come back, whether it's part-time or whatever. And I know people have like discussions and debates about part-timers, but, you know, just simply they need to do something, you know, I think shocking, something big, something that you can go on Twitter and go, oh shit, I can't believe so-and-so came back. This is crazy. I can't wait to renew my subscription for the WWE Network. You know, something that just stands out, that is just right up, and that could really not just change the current product of WWE and wrestling in general, but just something that could change the network and participants so they can get more buyers, more subscribers, and make, you know, everything easier for them.
Antoine, what do they need to do for SummerSlam and Night of Champions to make people want to stay with this one?
Wow. I mean, I agree with the guys. I mean, they have to do something that gathers our attention. I mean, you already take a step back with doing the predictable thing of giving the guy the championship, which we all know he's going to win anyway, I guess, right? So now you have to do something different. You have to do something very different now, and you have to be able to, in a way, surprise people. WWE's been full of surprises this year. They've done a very good job with making people talk, whether it's The Shield, whether it's Undertaker, whether a good or bad way of the reaction. They've done a great job getting people talking. During the slow point between August to the Royal Rumble, they need to do that again. They need to do something. SummerSlam Night of Champions, I would keep this. I would not drop this Ambrose and Rollins things anytime soon. You have to build on that. So I don't know if it'll end at Night of Champions, but I would keep that going. Whether it's Brock and Cena, I'll keep that going. I agree with what Ross said about Reigns and Triple H. Maybe you do like another rematch of that. Maybe have Triple H win one, Reigns win one. I don't know. I know I wouldn't have Reigns win all the matches versus Triple H, but maybe one. Maybe have him split one. I don't know how you would do that, but I would do something to have a little bit more creativity. Something that will shock the people, man, because that will keep people excited through the slow points towards the end of the year, towards Survivor Series. Getting to the Royal Rumble. So I totally agree with the guys. Got to have something exciting to keep people interested.
Do you think the WWE is using this as a test? Because we all know they're never going to blame John Cena for any of their problems. But do you think they're using this as a test for Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and all their other superstars that they're trying to build up at least. Do you think they're using this as a test, saying like, hey, it's on you? Because I think that they're going to have SummerSlam be Reigns and Orton, because Reigns at Night of Champions, what is he going to do? Well, let's just give a big match feel for Roman Reigns, something that does feel like a title match against Triple H. That's what I think they're going to do for Night of Champions. Do you think this is a test for Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt? The list can go on and on. Cesaro, like for the Leftovers Club, as I like to call them. They're not the Breakfast Club. They're the Leftovers Club. They're like, we're the best you got. So do you think it's the test for the Leftovers Club to see if they can, get over, the WWE Network and keep fans interested? Do you think this is a test for those 5 superstars?
They're the afternoon snack, bro. They're the snacks, bro.
Ross, what about you?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a test for them because they were very popular in the Shield, and I think WWE has plans for, if not all, at least 1 or 2 of these guys to really be their next big main event guys. So they want to see if they can handle the pressure at this point in time, and I totally think that's what they're doing.
All right, Chris, what about you? And then we're going to wrap up the network discussion and then answer some questions and hear some thoughts that people are saying about network and everything like that.
Yeah, I think it is a test, and I think it's kind of like a test that, I think as a fan you think of finally, because, the Triple H's aren't always going to be there. Obviously, one time, he has to say, okay, I'm done wrestling in the ring. I think we've finally seen the end of Taker's, matches. Cena's not always going to be there forever. Orton's no longer going to be there forever. So they need to, Brock Lesnar, there you go, Chris Jericho. They can't always bring these, like Batista, they can't always bring these part-time guys to, hey, we'll give you a nice big fat paycheck for about 3 months and to do whatever and come back whenever you feel like it. You need to develop these young stars like a Bray Wyatt, like a Roman Reigns, like a Dean Ambrose, like a Seth Rollins. All these guys that, really do have star potential, every single one of them. They all have their unique facade for them. So, it's a nice, good test for them. And I think that, I think for the most part they'll be very successful as long as they keep doing this, as long as they don't drop the ball and they just forget them for a guy like, now a 15-time world champion like Mr. John Cena.
All right. So now we're done talking about the network. I'm pretty sure you guys have your network questions. We're going to answer questions from the comment section. So leave in the comment section any questions that you have about wrestling in general or just whatever you want to ask us. We will be on for another 20 minutes or so. So Mr. Rout, former Off the Rope Show member, asked a question. Should wrestling have seasons? 3 months on and then 2 off and then 3 months on, with stars not used the first time around or mixed, something different with different guys each time to get fresh views and stories and not to be so forced to write for so many people. Do you think wrestling should have seasons like a Breaking Bad and Walking Dead and stuff like that? Do you think they should have seasons? Ross, what are your thoughts on wrestling having seasons?
I've heard this idea thrown around numerous amount of times, and I can understand why they would do it, just to have the wrestlers be a little more healthy, but wrestling's a physical sport, or entertainment, sorry. It's physical, so you're going to have injuries whether you're not doing it all year round or you're doing it 8 months a year. You're still going to have injuries, so I think it has its pros and its cons, and I'd have to kind of think about every pro and con, but I think it'd be best to not do it because I think you need something on at least. Even though I know the fall time isn't the best for wrestling, if I didn't have any wrestling, I think I'd be a little mad. Because I'm a big wrestling fan. Even if Raw is not that great, it's still fun to have something on there because usually there's at least something that entertains me, whether it's a match or a promo. Maybe a small feud is entertaining enough. I just don't think I could handle that because I'm a big wrestling fan, but I could see the argument.
All right, Chris, what about you? Do you think they should go with the whole, seasons idea, maybe?
I've actually been one of the, been one of those people that has thought of that, okay, what if they do this, type of deal. But it's kind of like what Ross said. Injuries can happen, and as Rich said, like, the injuries can happen at any time. But you know, it's you could have it that way, but at the same time, you think to yourself, going, like, let's just say if you're not into sports, let's just say you're just into wrestling in general, and you don't find shows that entertain you, sitting there going, what am I going to do for the next few months? You know what I mean? Like, you just be sitting there waiting for, man, I can't wait till they bring back Raw. I can't wait till they bring back this pay-per-view. So, I mean, you could do it that way, but I think in some way you kind of lose somewhat of interest, if anything, if you just had to break it apart in months and then you just, randomly bring it back whenever.
All right, Antoine, what about you? What do you think about the season's idea?
I'm pretty much in agreement with the guys. I would not, not have it on. I think there's too much investment with the sponsors, too much invested with the fans, and too much invested in what they have going on and what the repetition of wrestling was for them to stop. At least, if I would do anything to give the wrestlers a break, I would take one show off, and I would take some guys off screen for a while. If I would change anything, I would take some guys off screen for a little while, maybe a month or two, just to give them a rest, give them a.
Did we lose Antoine as well?
Okay. You have enough talent you could put.
Okay, bye.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It just froze for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. What I was saying real quick was that I would consolidate some of the shows. I wouldn't have so many shows probably, and if I would do anything, I would probably give guys a month off or so just to give them a rest. But otherwise, I would keep everything on. You gotta, consolidate. Main event doesn't get that many views for some reason. There's a lot of wrestling going on, so I would give guys I would consolidate the shows a little bit more. You can just leave it at Raw, SmackDown, or whatever to give guys a break, and probably also do the break for some guys so they can get some rest, and that's it. Otherwise, I keep it on weekly.
All right, so for me personally, I don't think you can do it now. Maybe if this was a 2009, sure, go right ahead and do the season's idea. But, right now wrestling, it just doesn't have interest in America for a season idea to work. Like I said, maybe if this was like a 2009, sure, go ahead, because I was sick and tired of watching Orton and Cena wrestle the same 8 pay-per-views back to back to back to back. But this is 2014. You have a bunch of fresh new stars. And yes, I know, like, some people are going to be like, well, it's NFL and all those sports have seasons too, and people get excited for it. Yeah, but, they're only on once. It's not like, they're like on for 3 months and then 2 months later they're gone, and then on for 3 months again. It's just like, they're getting an extra 2 months. It's not like a Breaking Bad TV show where they're only on once a year, and that's the point where we all love Breaking Bad and stuff like that. I mean, it wouldn't work in today's wrestling just because wrestling is not as interesting as it was in the past. I mean, like I said, around 2009, if you wanted to float this idea out here, I think it would work perfectly, especially with the talent of roster that they had back then. But in 2014, right now, with all the young stars that you have, and you're trying to build those guys up and make those guys interesting, I think it would be hard with the format that they have going now, and especially with the network subscriptions, where you're going to tell people, like, oh, yeah, you're paying $10.99 a month and by the way, the 2 months you're not going to get shit. You're just going to get all the replay content. A bunch of wrestling junkies who probably waste their time in the basements watching it, they would get bored of that. So, in all honesty, I don't think seasons would work out all too well in professional wrestling today. Like I said, 2009 would have been a perfect year to start that. I think James Isabel asked, do you think the network will end? Do you think the WWE Network will end? Anyone? Yes? No?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Not now.
I don't see it.
I don't see it right now.
Unless they lose a lot of money.
I think
Go ahead, man.
I think once the European countries and everyone else gets it, people will see like how many people want this, and it'll stick around.
It'll stick around. All right. Yeah, I'm in agreement. The only way the network will end is if like WWE loses another $1 billion, which is possible. So I think that's the only way the network will end. It is possible at this point. Francis W22 asked, do you think that Jack Swagger should be the one to hand Rusev his first loss? And how about the reaction for Swags on Raw? No, Jack Swagger should not end Rusev's undefeated streak. I mean, You ain't gonna do shit with this jobber. I love Jackie Swags. I'm on the We the People Express and everything, but he ain't. The WWE for some reason has this mindset that Rusev's like a future main eventer for them. You're not gonna have fucking Jack Swagger be a future main eventer. That's just stupid. Okay, I'm sorry. No. Yes, Swagger got a good reaction, but soon enough that's just gonna die down a little bit. But yeah, I don't think it helps out that much. Ross, you?
Nah, don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. Like you could do what like even though Big E lost at the pay-per-view, he still looks strong. You could do the same thing with Swagger. He'll lose, but he'll still look strong.
Chris, you?
No, like you can't have someone who like freaking is just sitting there who just basically loses to every young upcoming talent. So all of a sudden be like, oh, I'm about to beat Rusev. Like no, it just wouldn't make any sense. I mean, yeah, he's getting a nice pop, nice reaction now. I think a lot of it has to do because this week's the 4th of July week, so it's like, oh, let's all get patriotic and everything. But it's just like you just can't really do that with Swagger. For him all of a sudden beat a guy like Rusev. Kind of like what Ross said, you can make him look somewhat strong, especially since he's a former world champion. But you just have simply Swagger Rusev.
Antoine, what about you?
We all know where Rusev's going, man. That's what it's just wait till Night of Champions time. Just wait till after SummerSlam, man. It's about that time. He's not. I wouldn't have Swagger beat this guy. Rusev's on a good run, and Lana, Jesus Christ, Lana, Lord. Woo! Lana, something else. Yeah, I wouldn't have. So I'd make Swagger look kind of strong as I can, but I'd have Rusev go over, and then we all know what's going to the 5 moves and the famous are off the top rope and the spinning backdrop and the awkward fist drop and attitude adjustment, and the match is over. So.
Yep. William Green asks, is main event done live before the SmackDown tapings? Yes, main event is done live before SmackDown tapings.
That shit's dead too. Nobody be there in the arena. I've been there.
It's like 5 people there. It's like, hey, bud.
That shit is dead.
James Isabel asks, if you guys didn't do YouTube, what would you do? Probably something along the lines of YouTube, kind of like trying to start my own podcast. If I wasn't doing the YouTube, just do a podcast talking about wrestling and sports. Ross, what about you?
I might try and go down the same route. I don't know. Maybe I would have tried to push myself to actually become a wrestler or a commentator or something.
Chris, you?
Something more productive. No, I don't know. Probably just. I mean, honestly, if anything, like if I was doing YouTube, I'd probably just make a blog and just blog away and just see who responds and shit like that.
What about you, Antoine?
Well, probably
we already know. You would be doing your radio show.
Yeah, the radio show, man. Motivational speaking. Check out the new music coming out. Just continue what I was doing otherwise. But I would find the time not to.
Oh, there's Biggie.
Biggie.
It'd be hard for me. Hey, look at him. Where's he going?
Where's he going? Come here.
No.
He's leaving the room. Biggie's out there.
Biggie.
Poor Biggie. All right. So, anyways, Biggie got his camera time. He always gets my camera time. He always gets camera time. And now my dogs are playing. Oh my God. Calm down. Calm down. All right. So I guess we answered that question. Francis W22 asked, what did you think of the Miz's return on Raw? Do you think it was wrong to have Jericho overshadow it? I think a lot of people will say they didn't care. I was happy for the Miz to come back, but yeah, Jericho definitely overshadowed it. So yeah, awesome. Ross, what about you?
That's my thoughts.
Okay. Chris?
Yeah. I think me and Anthony, aka Mr. Champ, are the only ones that care about the Miz at all in this world anymore, other than Maurice. But freaking, it was good to see Miz back. But obviously, have someone as popular and as successful as Jericho overshadow him. It's just simple. It's just there.
All right, Antoine, you?
Oh, you talking about the Miz, right?
Yeah.
There's three people if they weren't on my TV, I would not give two. Well, four, but we all know John Cena does count automatically doesn't count. There's three people on my that I would not have on my TV, and if they were on my if they ever left, I would not give a damn. That's the Miz, that's Alberto Del Rio, and that's Sheamus. I do not care about any of the three. So.
I, I feel bad for Del Rio, man. I used to like that dude. They literally stripped Del Rio naked, man. That guy used to have everything, and now he's just naked. All he has left of his gimmick is a fucking scarf.
You don't got the cojones.
Ikalingo. It is my destiny.
My destiny.
My destiny.
James Isabel asked, "What do you guys think about what happened to Paige? What happened to Paige? She steal an iPhone case too? Did she steal an iPhone case?
No.
I think you're asking about Raw. Kind of sad because it just showed that they used her as a transitional champion. She's only 21 years old, so it's not really like, oh my god, like she's 21, man. Like she has like hopefully for the WWE's sake a long career ahead of her of wrestling. You know, hopefully this leads to a character change, but we'll have to wait and see. It's up to how WWE writes this crap nowadays. But I don't think it wasn't sad. I wasn't pissed off. I mean, I kind of knew they were going to do that once I saw AJ Lee skip her way down to the ring. So. Yeah, exactly. Ross, what about you? What do you think? What did you think about what happened to Paige?
I'm a big fan of Paige. I think she's really talented. She's got a lot of potential to even improve. But I really wasn't mad that she lost the title. Like, it happens. Like, it's not gonna bury her. I know people in the internet community like to use that term.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Chris, what about you?
Well, once I saw Miss April Phil Brooks come down, I'm like, there goes the end. She's pregnant.
I felt so bad for those girls, man. Like fucking Paige, like she was trying to say her line, and they're like, CM Punk, CM. She's like, that's why I call her the female Randy Orton. She also forgets her lines, people. She forgets her lines as well. Antoine, what about you? What did you think? How did you feel about what happened?
I mean, I'm just too busy looking at her ass when she walked down to the ring. I'll be like, she be going up that ring, and I'll be like, woo! So, but yeah, man, she I mean, besides her good looks to me, I mean, she cool. I mean, it happened. I wish it would have happened at a pay-per-view as opposed to just randomly on Raw, but I understand why they did it. But, it was all right. I mean, it was about time. Nobody was caring she was champion, man. Nobody was caring, bro. Nobody cared.
Like seriously, I think the only, and I joke around a lot about Paige just because I do like Paige as a wrestler, but WWE Paige is like a mixture of John Cena, Randy Orton. Because it's like, she comes out, she either gets beat down for the whole match, and then it's like, LOL Paige Turner, LOL PTO, who's similar to that, John Cena, LOL AA, LOL STF. He wins the match. Or she's like Randy Orton, she'll have a good back and forth match with someone, and then she hits a random move out of nowhere, and then no facial expression when she wins. She's just like the Randy Orton face, like, what's up? I just won. Like, it's like no expression whatsoever on her face. But yeah, she has a bright career ahead of her, so it doesn't matter whatsoever. What happened to her? Because like we all said, she's young. She's going to have a bright career. Francis asked, where do you see each individual Wyatt family in 3 years today? Okay, Bray Wyatt hopefully will be a main eventer. Luke Harper, mid-carder, Eric Rowan buried in TNA, losing to everyone. He fucking sucks.
TNA will still be alive, though?
Fuck Eric Rowan. Fuck Eric Rowan. He sucks. He's garbage. I don't care what anyone says. This guy is as bad as Gunner. This guy is bad as Bram. This guy is terrible. He's as bad as Mojo Rawley, man. Get hype for that shit.
God damn.
Now, have you seen? I don't know if you've seen.
Eric Rowan, man. Eric Rowan,
I don't know if you've seen. I don't know if you've seen NXT recently, but you see Bo Dempsey. No, Bo Dempsey. Like something Dempsey. Was like.
Oh, Bull Dempsey.
Yeah, Bull Dempsey, like Bull, and I'm like, oh my god.
His finisher's like a power slam, but with more impact. Like, what's that?
All right, Ross, where do you see the 3 Wyatt family members in 3 years?
I think Wyatt will be a main eventer. I think Harper might be a main eventer. He'll at least still be with the company. I think they like him. And Eric Rowan, I guess I'm trying to repackage him, but I think he's gonna be gone.
All right. And James Isabel actually was like, "Oops, I'm sorry, I meant Emma." He actually wanted to ask about Emma. I was like confused too. I was like, why are you asking about Paige? Is she still an iPhone case too? Like, I didn't know she did it.
You know what's crazy, man? I see Bray Wyatt when the next year being a champion. I see heavyweight champion in the picture, or damn near getting it. I see Harper obviously like Ross said, being upper mid card, future main eventer if they push him right. And Eric Rowan, I see him retiring with Kane, shaving his beard and selling insurance, man.
Chris, what about you?
Well, I kind of sound like a broken record with some of these guys, but like Bray Wyatt probably be main eventer. Luke Harper, mid carder. Eric Rowan chilling with HEG at the unemployment line. So it's
Hey, Crime Time's back, baby. So
yeah, bring it.
That shit there. That shit there was funny.
Good cheese, bro.
Let me ask you guys.
I think he froze. Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a serious question? Each of you guys individually. I want to ask you guys something because I want to get 3 different opinions on this. And if it's the same opinion, I understand. Let me start with you, Chase.
Well, I don't know if Chase.
I think he froze.
Yeah.
All right, he froze.
I think it's that way.
Oh, all right, Chris. Let me start with you, Chris. What is the problem with John Cena, man? What's the problem with John Cena? What's the problem?
Big titty Bella. No, seriously. It's just the whole character development, really. I mean, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, he sucks. He can't wrestle." I mean, he's not going to be like a Daniel Bryan, a freaking, CM Punk. He's not going to be doing like flips and kicks and all these holds and everything. Yeah, but you don't necessarily always need a guy like that. You need a guy who's a leader, a ring general, and that's someone that John Cena can and is. So at least you can kind of respect to that matter. But I think people too are just tired of the whole every single week, coming out there with a championship of, oh, hustle, loyalty, respect, I love the fans, and then getting killed in the whole entire match, and then one move, oh, game over. You know what I mean? So that's the whole thing with John Cena.
What about you, Ross?
I think it's the combination of the character. People are tired of the character. They need to switch it up a little bit. And then I think the other reason is the winning. He doesn't lose enough.
There you go.
And when he loses, it's like there's almost always a catch. It was the same way with Austin, but Austin wasn't on top this long, so it didn't feel like it took forever. Cena's been on top triple the amount Austin has, so it feels redundant at this point.
Yeah, look, man. Here's the thing. There comes a point, man, where wrestling is supposed to suspend our disbelief, bro. We're supposed to believe in these characters, even though we know they're human. We're supposed to believe in these guys. We live vicariously through a lot of these guys. And John Cena, you can't because it's unrealistic. If you win every single thing that you do and you never fail in life, and what do you overcome? What do you mean overcome the odds? What do you overcome? And you always win, bro. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Okay, I understand with Austin, I understand with Hogan, it was something. But like I said to Chase in the past to you guys, and I know you guys will get where I'm coming from. Every superstar had one person that if they couldn't get by, it was always hell for them to get by them. It was always hard as hell for at least one guy. Hogan had the Warrior, where in the WWE terms, that guy, he never beat the guy. You know what I'm saying? There was one guy that got the best of him. If you look at Austin, I mean, you could say The Rock, you could say Triple H. I mean, you could say some guys that maybe even if he did win, They did get the best of him in certain things. You could say the same thing with many other guys, many other superstars that's been the top guys, except for John Cena. John Cena has gotten a win back on everybody who's ever beating him. So like, how can we believe you, bro? When you beat everybody?
I think the only person that Cena never beat, at least on pay-per-view, was Sheamus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was the only one. Sheamus.
Sheamus was it.
All right, I'm back. I don't know how you guys are still hosting my fucking YouTube show.
I'm surprised this the Google Hangout didn't end. I was like, why are we still here? Like,
yeah, no, you guys were all still live, so thank you guys for holding down the fort. If you guys ever want internet in your life, and you want, the best internet, don't get AT&T. It is garbage.
No, don't get Cox. Don't get Cox either.
AT&T is garbage, man. It's just garbage. Did you guys answer a question? What were you guys talking about? Cena? I was hearing Cena on YouTube. What were you guys talking? Did you guys answer any questions? Did you guys answer any questions or no?
No.
We were talking about Cena. I was asking their opinion on fuckboy Buckethead.
Okay. All right. So let's get on to another question. Heel Steven asked, when do you see Seth Rollins cashing in, and do you see him winning it or losing it? I actually see Seth Rollins cashing in. I would say they wait a while for Rollins to cash in. I would say maybe before Money in the Bank 2015. I think that he'll cash in 2015, and I do see him winning it because you have to justify what he did by joining Triple H and the Authority and doing all that crap. So I see him cashing in and being successful.
I think he'll be successful. Like, there hasn't been many people that have lost, so they might want to try and get people to lose to make it seem less predictable. But I think they'll let Rollins win. But will he have a long title reign? Yeah, that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think it's just like, I think that he will be successful, first of all. And second of all, I think, even though we're not supposed to believe in, quote-unquote, the dirt sheets and shit, I know people keep saying, oh, maybe Lesnar and Reigns at WrestleMania 31. If they do hypothetically go down that road, I could see them possibly having, especially the part that caught my eye this past, pay-per-view, the Money in the Bank, is when they said 0 cash-ins at WrestleMania. That just, hinted to me that within the near future, they could have finally a cash-in at WrestleMania. And I think, honestly, Seth Rollins could be a guy that could, let's just say, steal Roman Reigns' thunder. He goes out and he becomes a quote-unquote big star by becoming world champion, and Seth Rollins takes that away from him. And then you move on. Instead of having Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose feud, you finally have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns feud, the former tag team champions together.
Yeah, man. I totally agree, man. I think he'll cash in. I think he'll win it. I think if they do it right, man. They have a lot of money in this guy, man. They have a lot of money in this guy. If they just progress it right, man, and don't push him out there too fast, let him have the briefcase for a while, and I think he'll be fine, man. I think he'll win it.
All right. And someone also asked about my boy Ryback. Thoughts on Ryback ever making it back to the main event picture? Though CV more chance at Money in the Bank in this week's Raw would suggest there's still something there. He still got it, baby. He still got it.
That's Boston, baby. That's Boston right there.
I still got it with Ryback. Best part of Money in the Bank 2014. Ryback saying I still got it. There's no chance for Ryback reaching the main event again. It's sad to say because I do like the Ryback. I think he's a marketable guy. It's just that WWE doesn't believe in him, don't believe he can improve. I disagree with that, but the WWE doesn't. And so, yeah, I don't see any chance of Ryback making it back to the main event. Maybe he'll win a mid-card title or tag titles down the line, but I don't see, Ryback ever improving back to stardom. Ross?
And it's sad because I liked him at first. I know everyone else hated him, but I thought he was different. He wasn't the best wrestler, but he didn't have to be. Like, he got the job done. His character wasn't boring. He was all hype, and his entrance was cool, in my opinion. And it's just a shame. Like I don't think he'll ever main event again. But I do think he deserves one more chance.
All right, Chris, what about you?
Sadly, I don't think he will ever be back in the main event. I mean, I think they really dropped the ball when they turned him heel and faced Antoine's favorite wrestler of all time, John Cena, and that was just like it was doomed right then and there for him. So it was just like, I mean, yeah, the guy's not the greatest on the mic, and he's not the greatest in the ring, but when you're over with the crowd like that, it's just you have something special, and then you just let it drop right then and there. It's just a shame. It's a shame.
I think it's a curious case with Ryback before Antoine speaks. Like, all the internet fans, when he was, like, on fire and stuff like that, everyone's like, oh, this guy sucks. He shouldn't be on the main event. Now it's, like, 2 years later since he's got buried, a year later, actually, since he's got buried. A lot of people are like, yeah, WWE really fucked up on Ryback. He was hotter than Bryan at one point. It's like, why the fuck weren't you guys saying that when he... screw it. Sometimes wrestling fans are hard to figure out. Antoine, you...
Chase, let me just comment on that before I go to Ryback, man. That's what happens, man. They want somebody to get to the top, and then when somebody gets to the top, they totally flip on them and say they're overpushed and overbooked. Then they pick somebody else, and then once that person that they want gets to the top, they flip on him, and then they switch to another guy who isn't getting right. So, I mean, they did it to Daniel Bryan when he got to the top. They did it to Ryback. I mean, they don't know what they want, man. But as far as
they did it to CM Punk as well.
They did to CM Punk. Once he got to the top, oh, he's overrated. He's not that great. He's not that great on the mic. You know how that goes, bro.
It's like what Eric Bischoff once said. The internet doesn't know what they want. The internet wrestling fans don't know what they want.
They don't know what they want, bro. They don't know what they want. I think Ryback, as far as Ryback, I think I liked him too, man. I liked him. I found him entertaining. I found him very to the point. I thought at a time he was rivaling anybody in that company as far as popularity. He was the man for a while, bro, and then they just took the rug from under him, man. I mean, he was okay to me. I liked it. It wasn't boring to me. I found him entertaining. I liked his whole feed me more thing.
Mm-hmm.
The clothesline was sick as hell. So, I mean, I don't know what happened, man. They gave up on that ball too early.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Vince nowadays. He just doesn't, like, keep something on track for more than, like, 30 minutes. He'll get bored and be like, I'm sick of it. And so he just moves on.
That's old people, bro. That's what old people do. Oh, fuck this.
I actually have a question for you guys. Say if Bryan never got injured and he was having a long title run. Say, like, at Battleground, him and Cesaro had a match. How many people would be cheering for Cesaro and booing Daniel Bryan? Do you think that would have happened, where Cesaro all of a sudden becomes that hot guy and everyone's like, we want Cesaro as champion, screw Daniel Bryan? Do you think that would have happened if he faced Cesaro? Ross, do you think that would have happened if he faced Cesaro?
I think it might have been like a 50-50 split or like a 60-50 split, or well, not 60-40 split. Like, I think it would have been something like that. I don't think it would have been like with Cena against a lot of up-and-comers. It wouldn't have been like 90% the other guy and 10% Cena, you know?
Chris, what about you?
Yeah, I think it could be a possibility. It could be split, but if he never did get injured, most likely WWE would have kept on the horrible Kane and Daniel Bryan storyline involving Brie Bella's horrible acting and screaming into the no, it's just. I mean, they were just killing off freaking Daniel Bryan's vibe there. So in some way, as horrible it is that he got injured, in some way it's kind of a blessing in disguise. So they just restart over with him, and then I think it's a possibility that it could have been either way. It could have either been split 50-50, or it could have been like, oh, Daniel Bryan, he's still, Cesaro, he seems cool. Yeah, go ahead,
Antoine, what about you? If Bryan faced Cesaro, do you think Bryan would get more cheers, or would it be split? Or Cesaro would get more cheers?
Oh, man, I think they'll be so fly-by-night. They wouldn't know what they wanted, man. It'd probably be like 50-50, 60-40. Cesaro, and Bryan sucks, and no chance and all that, man. I think it'd be a little bit of both. And then what'll happen is when Daniel Bryan wins with the flying knee, everybody's chanting yes. While during the whole matchup, it was Bryan sucks and no, and overrated and broken neck and all that crap. And then when he wins, everybody's chanting yes. So that's how it would go.
All right, Jay. Heel Steven asked, who do you want to see Sandow imitate next? I want to see Sandow imitate the Imitator. I want to see him imitate Charlie Haas. Ross, you?
Let's see him imitate, like The Undertaker.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, that'd be so perfect. The crowd would be so
yeah,
mad.
They would buy into it. So.
They'd be so mad next week.
Chris, what about you?
I'm still waiting for him to imitate CM Punk, just for all the CM Punk like chants every single time.
Oh, shit.
I'm waiting for that. You know, crowd, and then out comes Damien Sandow, and the fact that, like, I hope to God if they do that, it's not in Chicago, so the man doesn't die. Like, I don't want to hear, oh, Damien Sandow got shot after the show because he imitated CM Punk. I don't want to hear that shit. But, like, I think if he ever did imitate CM Punk, that would be so much heat right then and there that it would just be, like, perfect.
What about you, Antoine?
Those two guys are come out with like a cart full of shit and like go to self checkout and then have an iPad in your hand.
Oh my god.
And then walk by the self checkout and keep walking and shit and have the cops come arrest you. And then slow down and then get arrested, bro. Hell
That's
yeah.
fucking horrible.
Alright, was that too soon? Was that too soon, y'all? I'm sorry. That was too soon. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah,
2 days ago, man. 2 days ago.
I'm sorry, guys.
And now, you know Santino's line for that one? Now it's even more funnier. Oh, where is Emma for the party? Oh, she's arrested right now. That's what she's
Don't be a lemon. Don't be like her. Don't be a lemon. Be a rosebud.
and guys, I know a lot of you guys will be like, oh, that's not fair to her. You shouldn't be making fun of Emma getting arrested. Look, you're a celebrity. We make fun of celebrities for stupid shit all the time. The fact that you did not pay for an iPod case and you forgot to do that, that's on you, and we're allowed to make fun of you, man. If we can make fun of John Cena dancing in a Juicy Fruit commercial, I can make fun of Emma for not paying for an iPod case. That's just the bottom line.
Hey, man. Shit gets real when you doing something that's $25 get you in jail, man. Shit gets real out here.
It wasn't even $25. It was $21 at Walmart. At freaking Walmart, man.
I'm even $4 short. God damn, shit gets real out here.
Of all places, Walmart. James Isabel asked, do you think John Cena would ever put over someone? Reigns? I think Reigns would be the one guy where John Cena would have to say, like, well, I'll put him over, and it would be best for business. But, at the end of the day, I'm going to do what's best for me and hustle, loyalty, respect. So I won't put him over. So yeah, John Cena. I don't think John Cena will put over anyone at this point. It would have to take, like, don't get me wrong, Roman Reigns is like a big megastar waiting to happen, but it would have to take someone bigger than Roman Reigns. Like the thing about Roman Reigns is like Roman Reigns right now is not making so many people watch wrestling to the point where our ratings are like at 4.0 because of Roman Reigns. You know, it would have to take someone like that for John Cena to sit down and say, well, you know, Vince, it's time for me to pass the torch to this guy right here. You know, I will still show up and be loyal to the WWE and do my wishes and accept all my WWE Hall of Fames and So that's how you know when Cena will put someone over, when someone reaches to the point where even Cena can't even stand, because Roman Reigns, like, he doesn't have a T-shirt, so you can't base his merchandise sales compared to John Cena. The only thing you have based against it to John Cena is, pay-per-view buys or network subscriptions and the ratings. And at this point, Roman Reigns, it's not like he's blowing the roof off on the ratings. It's not like when Roman Reigns is like on TV, people are like, you got to see Roman Reigns on TV. So. Yeah, I don't think Cena will put anyone over until there's someone that will surpass him in his mind and in the John Cena mind, which I just did my impression of right there. Ross, you?
Reigns is really the only guy I can think of. Cesaro, as much as I'd like to say, I don't think they would. They'd find somebody else to do it for him. Yeah, Reigns is really the only guy I can think of. I don't think he would do it for Ambrose or Rollins or Wyatt or like a
Right,
Sami
Wyatt.
Zayn in the future. Or
Jesus Christ.
like I'm trying to think of NXT guys like Adrian Neville. He wouldn't do it for him, or I don't know. Who are some big NXT guys? Like they probably wouldn't do it to anyone.
Yeah. Chris, you?
You know, it's. I mean, let's face it. The only reason why he let Daniel Bryan go over is like, LOL, you're gonna be my brother-in-law, and second, I gotta leave, get injured.
I told Antoine this at his WrestleMania 30 recap show on the Mortar Life Radio. I said if there was a third Bella twin, Bray Wyatt would have gone over.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, the only one is like, despite how like hot of a push guys like Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose are getting right now, it's clearly Roman Reigns. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's really a coin flip. Whether it's John Cena saying, "Oh, let me still rise in the sun," being the top guy for the next 5 years, or him saying, "Okay, Vince, it's time to move on. Life goes on. Time for me to move on. Still not marry Nikki Bella. Let's just keep going with this."
Antoine, what about you? Do you think John Cena will ever put anyone over?
Nah, I don't think he put over Jesus, God, whoever you name, man. I think one thing he would do, the one person he would put over because I see it happening is Thugonomic Cena. He'd put over Thugonomic Cena. If somebody came out, if it was Thugonomic Cena versus You Can't Stop Me Military Cena, he would put that Thugonomics gimmick over. He would put that man would be a champ. Anybody else? Nah, man, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Maybe Reigns. If I had to pick somebody, not John Cena, it'd be probably Reigns. But then again, once that ball is turned into that court, everything shifts from Cena to Reigns, and what's happening to Cena will probably happen to Reigns in the next 2 years. So, yeah, man, that's it.
All right, Francis asked a question. Does it annoy the fuck out of anyone else how John Cena holds the titles on his way to ring? It looks stupid. You're not a gangster, John.
God.
He looks so dumb with the belts, like hanging like this from his neck. He's like, it looks so dumb. You're not gangster. You're not gangster.
Do you see how I'm sorry, I gotta say this. Do you guys see how his demeanor was Monday when he came out with the belt? He was like, "I told y'all, motherfuckers." I'm like, he was walking out all casual, like military shit was gone. He was like an arrogant asshole when he walked down that ramp. Like, I told you, each and every one of y'all motherfuckers paid to see the Shield and shit, and I'm just walking down here with the titles. Y'all motherfuckers paid to see the Roman Reigns and Triple H and Stephanie and Daniel Bryan and Bo Dallas and all them, and I'm just walking out here with these belts attached to my neck. Like, fuck all of y'all. Like, that's the way he walked out, man. It was funny. It was funny as hell.
What do you guys think about Cena rocking the titles like they're a necklace?
The only way he could look more stupider doing that is if like he pulled like a Bubba Ray / Bully Ray back in the day, like whenever he had like the tag team title, like put it around his head. They put it around his neck.
Yeah.
We're just kind of, like, that's the only stupidest way that he could possibly do that. And it was just like you're wearing 2 championships. It's not a robe. It's not a scarf. You don't just pull it out like that. It's a freaking world title. All right, freaking. You don't see WWE merchandise. Hey, everybody, buy the new John Cena scarf. It looks like the 2 world championships coming down from his neck. Only $19.99. Like, you don't see that shit. Like, what's wrong with you? I don't know. It was bad.
So, like, John Cena, the way he wears those 2 titles, I expect some ratchet-ass person going to a live event rocking the titles like that, not a professional wrestler. Some ratchet-ass fool going like, "Oh, don't I look fucking sick with my titles like that?"
That's some shit R-Truth would do.
Yeah. Ross, what about you? What did you think about John Cena and his way he wears the titles now?
It would have been cool in 2005, not now.
9 years later.
He's still on top.
Same old shit. A standing fireman's carry is beating a fucking RKO, a damn Batista bomb, a damn shooting star press and shit, a damn fireman's carry, bro.
And I used to do the fireman's carry in amateur wrestling. James Isabel asks, what are your guys' favorite sports teams? NBA, undecided. NFL, San Diego Chargers, and Chicago Bears. Baseball, the Diamondbacks. Soccer, Netherlands national team. Used to be Chelsea United, but I can't keep up with the British Times. That's really all the sports teams that I like. Alabama Crimson Tide, of course, so yeah. And Ross, go. Favorite sports teams.
Sports teams, New York Yankees.
Yes,
New York
sir.
Jets. Oh, we got a Yankees fan here? Uh-oh.
Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir.
New York Jets. New York Knicks.
Yes.
No.
I'm gonna get hated.
Uh-oh. And if, like, I had to pick a college team, I'm not really big on college, but, football, like, I'll try and root for Georgia Tech sometimes, because I live here.
Roman Reigns' alma mater, Georgia Tech.
I didn't even realize that.
Joseph annoying.
Chris, favorite teams.
Well, I'm gonna get hated now. Boston Red Sox. All right. Yeah, whatever. Keep hating. Keep hating. New England Patriots.
No.
Boston Celtics. Man, everyone hates me now, man.
You're still my friend, Chris. You're still my friend, Chris. You're still my friend.
Okay, sweet. I'm not too much into hockey or soccer, but I guess like
hockey. My favorite team's the Sharks. We choke every year, so I forgot.
Yeah, Bruins. We get the first seed. We choke in the first round. Cool.
You're killing me, Smalls.
For college, I mean, I'm totally into college. I mean, the two programs I support, ASU because I do live in Arizona, and Boston College for obvious reasons.
All right, Antoine, your favorite teams.
All right, I want my boy Ross some of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm a diehard Yankees fan, even though we kind of mediocre right now. Shout out, we'll be all right. Derek Jeter's last year, he'll be all right.
Better than us right now.
Shout out, I'm a New York Knicks fan, diehard Knicks fan. If Melo walks, I will not be mad if he walks. I trust Phil Jackson.
I agree.
I am a. This might be random to some people, but some of my family went to school with Steve McNair, so I've been a Titans fan since I can remember.
James
Titans
would be happy about that.
I'm kind of like I've been watching them since the Oiler days. I'm a big fan of them. College basketball, I'm a big fan of the underachieving Duke University team. We always get fucking eliminated sooner than we need to be. I'm college football. I'm a Hurricanes fan, even though we're mediocre. We did okay last year, but yeah. Not really any other sports. I mean, I'm not gonna jump on the Rangers bandwagon because I'm from New York and the Rangers did well this year. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm a Rangers fan. No, I'm not. I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I tried to cheer them on, but.
Hey Chase, I'm a Rangers fan, bro.
Oh, you are. I don't remember. Congratulations on the Stanley Cup.
I hate you, bro.
Congratulations on the Stanley Cup. No, you guys won. I don't know who won the Stanley Cup. I don't know who won that.
Yeah, LA wasn't in it.
Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this. I'm gonna start with you, Chase, real quick. Chase, name some teams name like 3 or 4 teams you hate. Your hated list.
1, Auburn. 2, Auburn. 3, Auburn.
A lot of Auburn there.
Well, 1, Auburn. 2,
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton could be part of a team, yes. I don't hate the Panthers, though. I like Riverboat Ron. The Packers. 3, I won't find an NBA team. I don't really hate any NBA teams. God damn, it's hard. Because, like, Auburn and the Packers are, like, the 2 teams that I can't stand. I would also have to say maybe Georgia annoys me a lot, too, because they always say, like, we're going to do shit. We're going to win the SEC and go win the national championship. Aaron Murray. I guess them, but mostly Auburn. Auburn's like I can't stand these cunts. I cannot. Like, War Eagle. You guys' mascot's a tiger. It's not even a fucking eagle.
Damn. So what about you, Ross?
Number one has to be the Red Sox.
Yes.
Red Sox.
Sorry,
Number two, the New England Patriots.
Yes.
Actually, number two. Actually, I'll add the Denver Broncos. Fuck the Broncos.
Okay.
Any team Peyton Manning's on, fuck them.
And number three, it used to be the Celtics, but now it's the Miami Heat. Fuck the Heat.
Yes.
What about you, Chris?
Well, you probably know where this is coming from. Number one's the Yankees. All right. Number two, it used to be the Jets, but then the Jets started becoming a laughingstock in the NFL, and it's just like, okay, why hate on them? I mean, after when your quarterback butt fumbles on Thanksgiving, it's just like, what do you do from there?
Hey, man.
I guess hated NFL team would be, I guess, like Chase, the Denver Broncos, because, and then three, fuck the Miami Heat. I'm sorry. Fuck
Yeah.
You know, I could easily, I would say Boston teams, but that's kind of like, with New York and Boston, that the Celtics and the Patriots are kind of just, they're automatic. Mine is different. I hate Amari Stoudemire. I hate Blake Griffin. I hate Amari Stoudemire. I hate Blake Griffin, and I can't stand the damn the Miami Heat. Those three I can't stand. I will look, man. If I ever see Blake Griffin personally, dog, I don't know what I do to him, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, I just can't stand the guy, bro.
Wait, don't you love his commercials? His Kia commercials?
It's like his commercials are actually, as commercials, honestly, I actually respect him more than when he's on the court, bro.
Yeah.
It seems like they're making Blake Griffin into this like Channing Tatum type of guy, where he's kind of funny and good looking and that type of thing. That's the vibe I get.
Ross, that dude look like a rough carpet, bro.
all I do is dunk.
So vacuum your carpet and look at Blake Griffin. I guarantee they're similar.
Wait, Blake Griffin.
All right, so we're going to answer 3 more questions, and then we're going to wrap this up. So sorry for anyone who couldn't get their questions asked. I'll answer this quick one. James Isbell, would you get an Xbox or PlayStation? I have both, so there we go. I'll answer that question. But now 3 more questions. Heel Steven asks, have you ever used a wrestling move in an actual fight? Does stomping a mud hole count? Because I have stomped a mud hole into one kid one time. His name was Hamim. He was pissing me off. He wouldn't give me the football, so I had to stomp a mud hole into it. But I've never tried an actual wrestling move. I think you'd be really fucking stupid to like fucking be like, oh, I'm gonna hit you with the RKO. I'm pretty like could you imagine if you were fighting some motherfucker and then like he gets you in the rock bottom position? I think as a joke, if someone was knocked out, I would do the people's elbow. I would do the people's elbow if someone was knocked.
He said he'd do the people's elbow.
If I knocked someone out, I would get up and I'll be like fucking looking like an idiot, running across their body, and they'd be like.
I give him the Hogan leg drop out of fucking nowhere just for giggles. Like, here you go.
The Hogan leg drop, yeah, that would work too. But I think the people's elbow is more retarded. I mean, could you imagine, like, man, not only did you get knocked out, but that dude hit you with the people's elbow.
The 5-knuckle shuffle, that's even worse than what I think.
Yo, like,
If
I remember.
I had like a post to like jump off of, I'd do like the Macho Man elbow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Swanton bomb.
Have you guys ever done wrestling moves in a fight?
I did I did a good stiff DDT on a dude one time. He like tried to tackle me. He tried to tackle me, right? And I'm kind of wide, so like he couldn't get me down automatically, right? So his head was under my right arm. So I'm thinking, okay, am I gonna jackhammer this dude? Or am I gonna DDT this dude? This dude come running at me. I hit him up with the quick drop. Bam! I was like, yes. He didn't get up either. I was like, you son of a bitch, I got you. Say wrestling's fake again. Say wrestling's fake again. With that stiff DDT, boy. He was laying there holding his head. I was like, yeah, Jake the Snake, baby. Taught me well.
Ross, have you ever used a wrestling move in a fight?
Nah, but I always wanted to do one. I think DDT would be a good one to do.
Yeah.
DDT would be a good one. What would have to be another good one? Like RKO's or no, that wouldn't be good.
Choke slam.
A sharpshooter.
Yes.
I always wanted to do that.
Ankle lock.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, have you ever done a wrestling move in an actual fight?
Yeah, but it was actually by accident, believe it or not. Because this idiot, like in middle school, he ran up to me, and I was like he literally charged at me, and for some reason, I just literally picked him up and did a belly-to-belly suplex by accident to the lockers, and the lockers were behind me. So I just picked him up, just shoved him that way. It was just on instinct. I didn't even mean to do it. I just freaking did it anyways. And yeah,
does a spear count too? Because I think everyone's done a spear.
Everyone's done a spear. Yeah.
I've speared someone before, but I didn't act like Edge afterwards. I just speared him and then started to punch him. So
Edge,
I guess.
Edge looked like he had sex after he get a spear. Like, Jesus, Edge. God, Lee, is it that good? Damn.
Right before that, the guy gets a boner.
Oh yeah, right before then too. Jeez, man, I wish I don't even get that excited for ass.
People say Randy Orton has a boner during his matches. Freaking Randy Orton, not Randy Orton.
What?
He has a boner before he does a spear.
Like who notices that?
Yeah.
Hey man, sometimes I'm sorry. I remember when I was I think it was Randy Orton SummerSlam 04. I was like, does he have a boner right now? And he was wearing those ugly-ass orange trunks. I could not turn away from that. I was looking at that whole fucking match. During that match with Benoit, I was just like, oh, my God, this is so disgusting. I remember one time, Royal Rumble 04, go watch it again. Triple H's chubby fucking boner, dude. You will be distracted. You won't even watch the Last Man Standing match again. You'll be looking at that and you'll be like, does Triple H have a boner? Because I remember he just got up and did his pose on the turnbuckle, and I just saw that big old chub.
At least it's not like WrestleMania 28 when half of Triple H's ass is hanging out in the Hell in a Cell match against Taker. We're just outside the ring, just sitting there going, okay, we see your ass.
Oh,
yeah, all right,
another match I remember. No. Night of Champions 2013. This is the last boner one. Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. Bryan's fucking ring chub versus Randy Orton's ring boner. I'm not kidding. When Daniel Bryan's doing this, I just saw that ring chub it was at first it was just normal. When Daniel Bryan goes up. When Daniel Bryan goes up to the turnbuckle, next time when you ever watch that match again, Daniel Bryan at first will just have a regular, it'll be nothing, and then all of a sudden it just pops up when he's all doing the yes chant. And then Randy Orton standing across to him, he gets a boner from hearing the fans chant yes. So man, it's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. Wow. You just notice weird things when you rewatch matches, man. I'm dead serious when I say that. But yeah, that's one match where you notice the ring chub and the ring boner. With the Vacant, Francis asked, Vacant losing his WWE Championship at Money in the Bank, do you think it was too quick to put the IC title on him?
Vacant is the undisputed greatest wrestler of all time.
Vacant's the greatest wrestler of all
time. Look, man, can nobody tell me Vacant is not the real ultimate opportunist, bro?
Vacant better be in 2K15 or I'm right.
I'm telling you, bro. If he loses, I riot if he loses, bro. I riot.
How many times?
Go on, Russ.
How many times has Vacant been champion now? 100 times?
More than 50
times?
Dude, Vacant's so multi-versatile. He wrestles for WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, Japan. He wrestles everywhere, man. Francis, I don't know if you're still watching the stream or if you're going to rewatch this, but that was the funniest scene ever. I think it was too soon to put Vacant with the IC title. I mean, I'm all down for breaking down superstars and trying to build back up, but Vacant just lost the WWE Heavyweight Championship. Why give him the IC belt so quickly? I mean, you're just forcing the issue here. He's just forcing the issue. Actually, I'll answer two more questions. Freaking James Isabel asking all these interesting questions. Pizdeck64 asked, what are your guys' opinion on the possibility of the Redskins, Chiefs, Braves, Indians, Blackhawks, etc. name change? I don't care. I don't think Indians should be insulted. They're called the Redskins. They're called the Blackhawks. They're called the Braves, the Chiefs. Like, wouldn't you be more excited about that? I don't find these terms racist. I mean, seriously, what are the Jaguars do they have to change their name because soon Jaguars are gonna be able to talk and they're gonna be like, we don't like how you guys are representing us because you suck every year in the NFL. Like, no.
Yeah, is PETA gonna like ban animal names from being like associated with teams?
Yeah, exactly. Like say the Packers poached the Bears. Is PETA gonna be upset, being like, oh, that's not an appropriate title. You gotta change your team names. Like, yeah, screw that.
The big deal is I don't understand what the big deal is. That's been their name for years, but nothing's ever changed of it. If it was that big of a problem, it would have been addressed from when the name was given to them at the beginning of it. So I don't understand what the problem is. Like, I mean, what they need to worry about is that damn prima donna quarterback they got. That's what they need to worry about. This dude ain't playing licking NFL type of Operation Patience and shit. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man. I'm so tired of Robert Griffin. That's what they need to be worried about. Forget the Redskins. Worry about that damn quarterback. Sorry ass bastard. Sorry bastard. I can't stand RG3. I think he's about to be with Blake Griffin and Amari Stoudemire, bro.
Oh god.
Ross, Chris, what about you? Do you care that their names are about the name changes? Like, do you think it's that big of a deal?
For me personally, like, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, most of these, if not all these names, have been going on for decades and decades. Like, why are you still now care about it? And nonetheless, with that being said, and this might be, I hope this doesn't come off wrong, but it makes them stand out more. You know, you have common names such as, the Bears, the Eagles, the Wildcats, you know, the names that you always hear, like Eagles, you know, the high school football, you know, you expect them, the names, these teams or something. Not
exactly.
Professionally. Like, the Braves, like, oh, cool, the Braves. Oh, the Redskins, oh, the Seminoles, Seminoles. You know, it's like, it stands out and just makes it a better appearance.
Oh, you know a name that stands out? The Pelicans.
Yeah, exactly, the Pelicans. No, but like Antoine probably hates Florida State because he's a Miami fan, but I bet you he would not be afraid of Florida State if they weren't called the Seminoles. Like the Seminoles, that's intimidating. The chant that they do with it, that's what makes Florida State such an intimidating team to face off every year against.
Yeah, man, it fits. It shows strength. That's what it means. Like the Indians, all that's supposed to mean strength, heart, character. That's what it's supposed to mean. It's not meant to be what it's becoming, but I also think that America is bored and, you know, they need something to do.
Yeah, no, and just know for all you guys that are probably watching this, we're all in our, like, young 20s, so maybe this is more of like a 30-year-old, maybe he would have a different opinion on this, or a 40-year-old, but we're all in our young 20s, and we just grew up with those names, and we don't see the racist terms toward those names. Is Redskins, does that sound racist? Yeah, I think that sounds a little bit racist, but the Braves, I don't know what's racist about the Braves. I don't know what's racist about the Chiefs. Like, I don't see Vikings coming out from underneath wherever the fuck the Vikings are hiding and trying to see the Vikings, man. Like, I don't see the Vikings coming out of nowhere. It's like I said, like in the future, when animals can talk, are the Lions and the Jaguars going to be upset at those teams for sucking and using their names? No, man. So it is what it.
Like, I bet you if people were still alive, hypothetically, from like the 1700s or some shit, they'd be like, "Oh, Patriots, that's so offensive." Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Like, you know, I have a really major problem with my franchise being called the Chiefs because I think it represents marijuana in a very, very bad way. I don't like, you know, chiefing. You know, I'm not very happy with that, so I think we need to change that.
Every day.
You know, smoking weed every day. I like, you know, Kansas City Chiefs. You know, this shit is ridiculous to me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then James is about for our final question. He asked, if you were in charge of the WWE, who would be your top guy and who would be your top diva? This is interesting. All right. Ross, who would be your top guy and who would be your top diva?
Are we limited to just WWE?
I think you can choose whoever the fuck you want. He just asked the question if you were in charge of WWE, which means we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Okay. I'd probably have To be honest, I'd probably have like Cena or Bryan. Like, I would use Cena totally different, but I think he's one of those guys that you could help build around. Like, as long as like he's not winning all the time. Like, if he was winning less, like, you know, the promotion would be fine. Like, to help build new stars. Like, he's a guy who's already got like that. He can talk. He's charismatic. He's got it all. Like, same way, Bryan's got like some of the statistics too, but I think Cena's just a little bit better in every facet. Like, I would want to say Orton, but Orton. Sorry, Chase, but it's like Orton's like.
He's the face of he's the face of the WWE. Okay, Forbes magazine shows that he makes the most money when he's champion.
Talk to me.
So you would use Cena. Who would be your top female? Who would you use as the top female?
Paige. I would use Paige.
All right, Chris. What about you? Top male, top female. Who would you're running the WWE? Who would be the faces of those companies?
Well, top male. That's a good question. Probably. Honestly, I'd probably use a guy like, I'm sure Ross can disagree with me because he already said it, but use a guy like a Randy Orton or maybe a guy like, I would say CM Punk, but he already left. But fucking.
Well, you're in charge, so you can choose.
Okay, so maybe bring a guy like Orton or Punk, a guy that can, work well in the ring, at least somewhat decent, on the mic, and that can kind of go both ways, meaning they could have a face or heel character, someone that could bring in some money making into the company.
Who would be your top diva?
Well, you can make an argument for Paige, but honestly, top diva, I'd probably have to say, despite her kind of quirky kind of gimmick, and I know she's been made fun of recently, but honestly, Emma, because she's got the talent. I mean, minus iPad stealing. All right, fuck you. Right.
iPod case stealing.
Yeah, excuse me, iPod case, $20.
Antoine, who would be your top guy, and who would be your top diva?
Hey guys, don't forget, everybody out there, if you're watching, go to regular checkout instead of self checkout. You never forget. I have to too soon, guys. Too soon. I'd have to go to. Honestly, this is my opinion. If I had a top guy, I honestly say this. There's two guys, but if I had to pick one, I'd put Dean Ambrose number 2, and I think Bray Wyatt, man, you could take that guy to the limit to me, man. I love his character. I think this guy, I'm one of the few that still believes in this guy, even after Cena attitude adjusted this guy into a damn wooden crate. But I feel Bray Wyatt has it. I think he has it. I just feel like you could put money behind that guy. He can talk asses and seats. He's incredible, man. I love his character, and I'd put Reigns number 3, Ambrose number 2, and Wyatt number 1. As far as female, I think it's either Paige or Naomi, bro. I think that's where I would put my money in. Naomi for her athletics in the ring, for what she can do, and I think Paige for her thing as well. I think Naomi's more entertaining. I think you could put some money behind her and have her be like the face of the Divas division. I would find a way to get Natalya off my damn television, and that's about it.
Oh.
All right, you guys are totally missing the boat here. I'll choose Jamie Noble and Nydia, and I'll in all seriousness, I would probably choose. For diva, I'll go diva first. I've been back and forth because I want to say I would use Mickie James as my top diva, but at the same time she's a little bit older and all that other stuff. And Paige, like I look at upside, I look at numbers and ages, like I'm a fucking football agent. Paige is only 21. I could probably convince her to stay with the company for 8 years, and I would get good 8 years out of her. And hell, maybe keep her for 12 years with the company, keep her for a long time with the company, limit her uses, make sure she retires with the WWE at the age of 35. So I'd probably have to go with Paige being my top diva. As for top superstar, as much as I would love to say Randy Orton, he's just much older and someone I wouldn't put as my top guy right now. 34 years of age. Yeah, he has a bunch of mileage left in his career. He could probably go another 6 years, but he has had so many collarbone injuries. Like, do I really trust someone like that? So if I were to go and I were to choose like a young guy right now, I would probably have to say either Bray Wyatt, and this may be a little bit random, but Cody Rhodes. I would choose those two guys. I would choose those two guys as my top guys. Like, Cody Rhodes, I know seems random, but Antoine made great points about Bray Wyatt. I was actually thinking Bray Wyatt because he's a much younger guy. But the thing with Cody is I look at Cody, and no matter what gimmick this guy gets, he somehow tries and gets it over. He's multi-versatile in the ring. He's someone that can work with anyone perfectly. I think he has a perfect look, that really great facial features and everything like that. So I really think Cody Rhodes, like, if given the right opportunity, he's only 27 years old. I can keep him in my company until he's 42. So in all honesty, I would have to either go with Cody Rhodes or Bray Wyatt. I mean, I like Roman Reigns, but my fear with Roman Reigns is that I would do with Roman Reigns that Vince does with Cena. I would make Roman Reigns into my super monster, and I believe that's best for business. I like Dean Ambrose, but I'm afraid that I would lose Dean Ambrose in the shuffle. Same with Seth Rollins. I'm afraid I would lose him in the shuffle. But with Cody Rhodes, I always feel like that I would have a good constant because I can put him in any gimmick, heel or face, and he would make it work. And same with Bray Wyatt. I can make him heel or face and make it work. Bray Wyatt, obviously, number one, but a strong number two, Cody Rhodes. So those would be my faces of the company.
And Cody Rhodes seems like one of those loyal guys. Like,
yeah, exactly.
If he ever got fired, like, I don't know if he'd go to TNA. Like, I don't know what he would do. Like, he seems just like a company guy. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I know it sounds random choosing Cody Rhodes, but like I said, he's a young talent still, and like for me, I'm looking at age, and he doesn't really have any injury history towards him, besides that one time where he broke his wrist. But other than that, he doesn't really have that much of an injury history. He just seems like a safe bet type of guy, so that's why I would probably choose him to be the face of the company. And like I said, he can play both face and heel, very multi-versatile person. So that's why. But with Divas, it's hard because, like I said, I would like to bring in a Mickie James. But for me, if I were to build a company from scratch, I would rather take the 21-year-old Paige than the 30-some-odd-old with a child at home Mickie James.
Or Cameron.
Or Cameron.
Oh, God. No, don't.
Please, Jesus Christ, can this woman get on my please, can somebody please release this chick, please.
Somebody
please. I just, oh my God, is this another one that gives me a headache? You guys don't know.
All right, so that's the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for coming up on here and doing this with me. Antoine, what are the shout-outs you want to give before we head out?
I want to give you guys a shout out, all you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. To you, Ross, Chris, Chase. Thank you guys very much for doing this, man. I appreciate it, and much respect to you guys, man. And I'll see you guys on here in the future. Much love, guys.
All right, Chris, what shout outs do you want to give before you head out?
Just simply, people that that are obviously subscribed to Chase's channel. So just in case they haven't, take a look at my channel, try to, and same handle basically on Twitter, and basically, thank you guys for having me. It's been pretty cool. It's been pretty fun.
All right, Ross, what do you want to give a shout out to?
Give a shout out to Chase Oliver 68. He's a cool guy. Yeah. No, but seriously, obviously that right there, you can see it the whole time. That's my channel. Twitter, I tweet a lot. I don't have an Instagram or anything. That's really about it. Like, that's.
And for all the people that have been subscribed to my channel, you guys know what I'm going to plug, so I don't really need to plug it. I got the Q&A coming out tomorrow. Got a bunch of other wrestling videos coming out tomorrow too. Friday, I'm not going to upload anything. I'm going to get drunk for 4th of July and be a normal human being like most of us should. So enjoy your guys this weekend. I'll see you all next time. Got an MMA podcast coming up. Got an interesting topic I want to talk about, so I'll see you all next time. Thank you guys for doing this. Check out all their channels in the description box down below, and websites as well, because Antoine has a website, so check out that. That'll lead to everything. Antoine, thank you guys for doing this, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.